Colorado Congresswoman announcing a big change for her campaign ahead of the 2024 election cycle, that she will not run for re-election in District 3 on the Western Slope. Instead, she'll enter the race for District 4 on Colorado's Eastern Plains.
I did not arrive at this decision easily. A lot of prayer, a lot of tough conversations, and a lot of perspective had convinced me that this is the best way I can continue to fight for Colorado, for the conservative movement, and for my children's future, and for the future of our great country.
Lauren Boebert is running away like a scared little bunny rabbit from a very tough race in a purple district to go. She's abandoning us to a Democrat because she can't take the heat.
What was it you said about a fresh start, Ms. Boebert?
And Madam Chair, I would like to reserve for the time being. Madam Chair, one moment.
Representative Lauren Boebert is struggling to gain traction in her new district's primary election, as nearly every Republican voter and lawmaker seems to hold a certain amount of disdain towards her. Boebert, who currently represents Colorado's 3rd District, announced in December that she would run for election in the 4th District in 2024 instead. And to anyone paying attention, it was clear she did this out of fear that she wouldn't win in her current district and tried to carpetbag her way to victory in the 4th. But after the first debate alongside fellow Republicans, it was clear she couldn't have been more wrong, resulting in a dismal showing in the straw poll held.
I'd like to ask her just a really simple question, and that is, could you give the definition of carpetbagger to me?
You have 1 minute.
Is this a Mary Poppins question? So yes, I have moved into the 4th District. My boys and I needed a fresh start. That's been very public of what the home life looked like, and I'm sorry to bring that up. I've tried to put it into a very pretty package and bring my ex-husband lots of honor, but since there is nothing private about my personal life, it is out there. And my boys need some freedom from what has been going on, and this move is the right move for me and for them. I was just down in Crowley County the other day, and no one was asking me about my personal life and what issues may have come up in my life. I certainly have had some. I am not perfect by any means. In fact, I've wrote a book about many of the things that have gone wrong in my life, but that is part of the American dream. But voters are concerned about inflation, about the economy, about the border, about our farms, our ranches here, and my arrest was just a simple traffic violation that was unpaid.
As I mentioned, 9 candidates on stage tonight. The audience also took a straw poll. Former State Senator Jerry Sonnenberg won that straw poll. Congresswoman Lauren Boebert finished 5th, so she is obviously hoping that things will be different on June 25th for the Republican primary.
But it seems now things have gotten even worse. Lauren Boebert lost her last district to a Democrat, and by only 546 votes. Her new district of Republican stronghold aren't just upset by her apparently thinking they are an easier district to win, they're finally getting sick of her. What bothered them so much? It wasn't her heckling President Biden during his State of the Union, her unreasonable stance on guns despite our country's nonstop mass shootings, or even giving the whereabouts of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi during an insurrection on the Capitol. No, it was her Beetlejuice scandal that proved to be the last straw. The one where she vaped and groped and told the usher, "Do you not know who I am?" Sure, it was obnoxious and rude, but to those of us that have seen plenty from her, it was also not surprising. To her Republican voters, it was most importantly immoral. A voter in her new district told the Wall Street Journal, quote, "I don't appreciate as a Christian people saying they're Christian to get your vote and then turning out to be a lowlife, and now I just kind of think of her as a lowlife," end quote. She said it, not me. This voter said she's looking for a strong conservative. Considering Boebert may be one of the most extreme conservatives out there, I think this is code for a conservative who does a better job of hiding that part of themselves. Looking at you, Mike Johnson and Mike Pence.
Amendment. It decreases the salary of the Deputy Undersecretary of the Food and Nutrition Services. And Madam Chair, I would like to reserve for the time being. Madam Chair, one moment. My apologies. I do not have amendment number 77 in front of me. But Madam Chair, I do urge adoption of Amendment 77 to be considered to decrease the salary of the Deputy Secretary. The Deputy Secretary.
I would feel bad that Lauren Boebert did one obnoxious thing in a theater and then was judged by the morality police for it and loses her job over it. If it didn't sound so exactly like MAGA, you could almost distill the current MAGA policy playbook to exactly that. From telling women what they should do over their own bodies, to penalizing families for making difficult decisions when their children grapple with their own gender identity issues, to trying to end support for people making a living wage. All we hear is judgment and condemnation. Boebert herself tried making a name for herself by wading into the debate of how to fix the border and immigration issues in this country by suggesting a bill. Her bill is titled, "Build the Wall, Deport Them All." Not judgmental at all. Is she thinking about all that migrants have gone through during their trek, the violence they have endured and escaped, the children who have had unthinkable new memories seared in their minds as a result of them leaving their country and trying to come to America? Surely not. I mean, of course our current policy needs fixing, and we can start with stopping our interfering policies in countries south of the border, but surely migrants that show up at our border deserve some dignity and humanity. Boebert, as an extremist within the extremism of MAGA, certainly doesn't think so. So when she gets the same treatment and is canceled as a result of her own MAGA movement, it's hard not to be more than a little satisfied in the result.
Taxation is theft, and arming 87,000 IRS agents to go after the hardworking middle class, well, that's just flat out armed robbery. Mr. Chair, I urge my colleagues to support my amendment, and I yield.
And I ask the gentlelady to yield for a question.
The gentleman's recognized. It's not my time.
I ask you to yield.
I have reserved. You're free to speak.
Yes, I'm asking if you'll yield for a question.
Sure. Ask your question.
What funds in this bill are used for the purposes you are opposed to?
Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear the gentleman. I was getting clarification. This is precautionary.
Precautionary for what?
Even for someone who enjoys the demise of my least favorite Republicans, this was tough to watch. I mean, don't get me wrong, I watched it several times, but still tough.
Well, aliens. And this
reclaiming
is
my time, Ms.
to ensure
Boebert.
that it will not be.
Reclaiming my time. There are no funds in this bill.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.